Hello everyone, this is LockOS, and welcome to this episode on the Mirage 2000C. This time we're going to be covering how to do the unguided CCRP style delivery, and in the Mirage, the CCRP, or continually calculated release point style bombing, is done with the low drag bombs. So and in the CCIP mode is done with the high drag snake eyes and any bomb that has a chute on it. Whereas this method is going to be used for any of the bombs that the Mirage can carry that use more of a that are clean, so to speak. They don't have any retarding devices on them. They're very much a slick version of the bomb. This bombing method will also be used in setting up laser-guided weapons. However, I want to cover that in a separate tutorial because laser-guided bombs, the delivery method is the same as this, yes, but there's a couple more things you need to consider when you deliver them. So, first thing to note, setting up the bombs before we get into the combat area. Our target area is right beyond that ridge that's going to be coming up over our nose soon. So let's get down into the cockpit below here and set this up. So, on your weapons panel here, you definitely want to at least set up your bomb fuse selector. So we're going to go from inert. We want to have an instantaneous fuse for the nose fuse. The middle section, RET, sets both, just sets the tail fuse. Instant sets nose and tail. So we want instant to get a good bursting effect on the target. If you're going against a more hardened target, like a building, like a tougher building or a infrastructure, you would want to go for tail fuse only. So we're just going to go instant for these targets. Then we want to adjust our quantity. You need to at least have a quantity of 1 to drop a bomb. In the Mirage 2000C, I highly recommend dropping, and in most other aircraft, I actually always recommend dropping pairs. So we're going to go for O2. And then you can have the bomb release interval selector switch. If you have 0, it'll just have the same effect as setting it to 1, so just do that either way. So we want both these bombs to come off fairly close together, so we're just going to go ahead on this run and do O2 and 1. That's all that we have to do on that panel right there. Over on this panel right here, we want to select BL1, which is our bombs. I'm going to pause right here, guys. We're going up to the target area probably pretty quickly now. We have TAS, which is our radar ranging. RS, which is our radar altimeter ranging. And then we have PI. PI is a separate sub-mode of targeting that uses a offset waypoint to actually determine the position of impact. This is going to be a whole other video. It's kind of complicated because you have to know how to operate the Mirage's waypoint computer, Orion S computer, to set up the waypoint for that. And also, believe it or not, it's actually not as accurate. The radar range, because it won't use radar ranging and at all. It'll just use mathematical calculations to pull this maneuver off. So it's a little bit less accurate. You have to be very precise when you're flying for this mode. So today we're just going to cover TAS and RS, which is your default mode for this aircraft for most of your bombing anyways. So that's it. Double checking things in the cockpit. TAS enabled with the S. RS enabled with the S. O2, we're going to drop a pair. And then we have 0.1 setting for the bomb spacing, so we have a really close together bomb spacing. Alright, there we go. Now, weapon selector switch forward. Gets you into air-to-ground mode. Master arm on. Turns the BL, which is flashing, meaning the bombs are not ready. Turning the master arm on, and having the fuse set correctly will enable BL. Especially making sure having the master arm on will actually get you all ready to go for combat. So make sure you have master arm on, otherwise it'll keep on flashing at you and you go to do your bomb run and the bombs won't come off. Same as with having a quantity of 0 selected for your bombs. If you go into your run, everything looks fine and nothing comes off the rails, that's probably because you don't have your bomb use quantity set either. So we're going to take ourselves out of autopilot. Alright. see here. We did overfly our target area. There it is, I believe, up there. And that's fine, because we're going to actually get a better visibility on the target run-in on this angle, because the target is behind this side of the ridge. And this is something you're going to want to consider with CCRP bombing in the Mirage, because CCRP bombing in the Mirage isn't like CCRP bombing in a lot of other aircraft, especially more modern ones, where the computer has a targeting system, and using a combination of the HUD, the radar, or a targeting pod, it can set up a target point. For the Mirage 2000C, your target point is going to be literally placing this diamond that is located here in the center of the HUD onto the target, and then designating. So, your designation command is to adjust controls, and it's, believe it or not, the magic slave and air-to-ground designate button. And I do believe that going through all my commands, that there really is not any way to undesignate. You just redesignate the air-to-ground target. So if you need to recommit to an attack, you have to just redesignate. So we're going for our 2 pairs of bombs. You know what? Let's target these BMPs off to the side of the camp first. So I'm going to try to get this dot right on the target if at all possible. You might want to zoom in if you have to zoom in. There's no shame in that. It's close enough. All right, air to ground designate. Hold the weapon release button. Pull up. And there's our 2 bombs. Now we're gonna pull off and see what the impact, what effect our impact has. Okay, we're a little bit, not too bad. We're not too bad. We got near, but we probably didn't do any damage. So let's check our F10 map and see what we managed to do damage-wise. And we kind of whiffed. Which is to be expected. These are not laser-guided bombs. These are still unguided bombs at the end of the day, and that is a very tight formation of BMPs. And if you do get your designation pretty far out, yeah, you have a lot of time to do your lineup for your run-in. But then you might not get it precise enough for the actual drop. The other thing to note is if you see these 2 lines that are beside now the drop queue, these 2 lines beside the drop queue are how you're supposed to adjust your roll to get onto target. And ideally, you want to be when you're reasonably close to the target, you want to make sure you're not having to put in any roll effect to get onto target. So that is a thing that you have to keep in mind. We're going kind of fast, so it's still telling us to pull because our target range is over there. So the target designation queue is still up, so we can still use it. And this time we're going to attack those tents. So we're going to move the designation queue over the tents. Air to ground designate. Now, alright, designation queue has changed position. Hold down the weapon release queue. Try to keep the Mirage level over the target area. Here the bombs come off, and then pull off to the side when the bombs come off. There we go. That's a much better release. That's a much, much better release. You're not going to get hyper-precise bombing in this mode, but you can get still very good aiming, especially if you come in on a nice clean approach. So let's take a pause here. F10. Coming down to see our work. And yep. Pretty much bombs right in the target area. We're going to try to put our target diamond now right in front of that hangar, which means we have to get lined up on approach. And let's do this one more time. And if you need to do more of a strike mission where you're trying to get all your bombs off on a target, and you're trying to figure out what your target where your target diamond is in the bombing pattern. Your target diamond in the pattern is in the middle of the pattern. So don't place the diamond at the start or the end of the where you want the bombs to fall. You want to place the diamond in the middle of the target area, and then the computer will figure out from your distance and the quantity of bombs where to put bombs on that target so that the bombs go around that diamond. So, alright, there we go. This is a good angle to approach this. See my canopy ridge, that means we're pretty close to getting this onto target. There we go. Come in. Okay, the computer's a little bit confused. Designate. Hold. Drop. And pull out. Now, we had 6 bombs equipped on the Mirage 2000C today. We did 3 runs of 2 drops, so that means we are empty. The fail light has come on, indicating that we can now go to air-to-air combat mode, or air-to-air fly-by-wire mode, and it looks like we had good effect on target. We're going to make a flyby of the target, and we're going to see what our last set of bomb drops did. Deploy air brakes so we don't die. There we go. We'll go to nav mode because we don't need now. Things are alright. Let's see here. Off the canopy wall. And good effect. Really good effect on that run-in. So, do keep in mind that with the Mirage 2000C and this bombing mode, you are going to be... it's very much dependent on how you fly at the terminal stages. So, try to have it lined up so that you're not designating on a bank. If you designate on a bank, you're immediately going to start getting off to the side of the target. And then the Mirage will get confused, and then you'll have to, when you roll out to like level your wings for the dive bomb, or for the level release, the computer will then tell you immediately start banking off to the left and right. You're going to whiff your bombs to the left or right of the target. So when you do your designation, try to roll in on your designation like I was. Try to pull your, try to designate, and then only at that point pull up, and do very minor adjustments on the side to get your bombs off accurately on target. However, keep in mind, these are unguided bombs, so precision, you are going to get, you can get pretty precise, but if you need to get precise to the level of putting something directly on a tank, or directly on a building to get a kill, and that is definitely a thing in DCS, sometimes even dropping a bomb right next to a ground vehicle will do nothing, but hitting it directly will annihilate it. You're definitely going to use laser-guided bombs, and that'll be the next tutorial in this series. So, we're gonna switch locations for the next tutorial, where we're gonna bomb a enemy bridge, and with a laser-guided bomb, and I will show you how to do that in the next episode. So, until then, see you around.